Alright guys, do I have a wrap up for you? I think I ended at 34 total books that I read in August, and I had such a good reading month. So I'm gonna go ahead and share, I guess, all the books I read with you. So this one was a little bit interesting. I didn't actually read it. I did pick up Swan Song of My Era by Elsie Swain. This was sent to me for review by the author, but I ended up DNFing it just because I don't think that this is the book for me. It does have a really wonderful story and theming and lesson from it, but the writing style was really hard for me to get through, and I just decided to stop trying to force myself to read it and to pass it along to someone who would enjoy it a lot more. The next book I read for review was Stowaway by John David Anderson. This is a middle grade science fiction novel in which we are following a young boy whose father is a scientist and has been experimenting with an element known as Ventasium, which is basically like a fuel for these rocket ships that allows them to travel in hyperspeed. And it's a very rare element, so there are lots of targets on their back from both the enemy and the good side and just the general morally gray pirates. So they're constantly like on guard, and one day they are attacked by the enemy and his father is stolen and or like kidnapped from the ship, and then they are attacked subsequently by pirates. And Leo, our main character, his brother kind of sneaks him onto the pirate ship so that he can sneak off and get help for this abandoned previous ship from when the initial attack happened. And I just really found this adorable. I feel like it had very like Star Wars, like Han and Chewbacca, or Star-Lord and Drax and Rocket Raccoon, like those type of humor vibes, which is very in line with my humor, so I really enjoyed it. But I feel like John David Anderson also does a really good job of mixing the humor with more advanced and intense moments. So it was a lot of fun, and there is going to be another book in the series. I'm not sure how many books in the series there will be total, but there's at least a sequel coming. Next, I did a reread of Truthwitch by Susan Dennard, and I think I said this in my vlogs, but the first initial read of this book I enjoyed, but I was very confused and it was hard for me to get into. It was a slow start for me, and doing a reread actually really made me enjoy the storyline a lot more because I already had that foundational aspect of what the magic system is like and what the plotline is going into it, and I wasn't trying to figure out what was going on and also trying to enjoy it. I was just able to sit and enjoy it and know what was going to happen, and I really enjoyed the reread. So I think it set up well for Wind Witch, and I actually might read Wind Witch now, or I should say I will read Wind Witch now because it is on my September TBR. Next, I finished the We Hunt the Flame duology by picking up We Free the Stars. I will say that I think We Hunt the Flame was better. This one wasn't as good to me, but it was still a decent end to the storyline. I do think I did it an injustice by reading it as an audiobook, however, so I do plan to reread it in the future as a physical copy to really garner what the storyline is about, because I feel like I strayed a bit in my thoughts when listening to it, which is why I'm now only doing like romance or light fantasy or sci-fi or those types of things, as opposed to like a high fantasy as an audiobook. Next, I read Newsprints by Ruju. This is a graphic novel following our main character Blue, who is a young female. She was orphanized, is that a word? And now is on the streets, and she was taken in as a newsboy, so these people think that she's a boy. So there's a lot of theming of what happens when I grow up and they realize I'm a girl. Will they still want me? Why can't girls do what the boys are doing? That sort of thing. So it was really cute, and I do believe that there is a sequel called Endgames, so I want to pick it up. However, I don't think I'll go buy it. I think I'll just grab it from the library. Next, I finished The Promised Neverland by reading volumes 15 through 20. You guys know I have been working on this for a few months now, and it is my favorite graphic novel series. It was 5 stars in every single volume up until the very last volume. I do think, I gave it 4.5 stars, so it was still really good. However, I do think that the ending was a bit rushed and left me wanting, like, I felt unsatisfied. So I would love more in this series. I don't think we're gonna get it, but it was so fun while it lasted. Next, I picked up volumes 7 and 8 of Amulet. There are 9 books in the series, however the 9th book has yet to be released and there's yet to be a release date for it. I do know that the author is working on it, however, so I'm excited to see where it goes. I would say my favorite part of these novels are definitely the visuals. Let me just show you some of the visuals in here. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at that illustration, and the space scenes are really, really gorgeous. Let me see if I can find one. Yeah, so like the illustrations in here are just absolutely stunning, and they're probably the main reason I'm going to be keeping these. But we are following Emily, who is a stone keeper, and she is tasked with saving this like alternate universe. So it's a lot of fun, but I'm ready for the 9th book. Next, I read volumes 1 through 3 in this little bind up of Dragon Ball Z. Anthony and I have been working through the Dragon Ball anime. I did finish the manga series early this year or late last year, I forget when, but we're currently working through the anime. I think we have like 15 episodes left, but I went ahead and picked up the next series just because I already know how the first one ends due to reading the manga. I will say that Goku is a terrible father in this like series where he's grown up, and it's cracking me up. He's literally a man-child, and it's fantastic, and I can't wait to see where we go from here. The last set of manga I read is Your Name, volumes 1 through 3. This is a cute little body switching manga in which we are following a young girl who just wants to be a handsome man in Tokyo and a young boy who just wants to escape the city. They end up somehow switching bodies, and it's revealed that our one girl, well, I'm not actually gonna say because it was a cool spoiler, and it was just fun to watch them like learn about each other through the body switching and then eventually meet. Next, I picked up the duology of All the Stars and Teeth and All the Tides of Fate by Adeline Grace. In this, we are following a princess who is tasked with becoming the next animancer, or basically the next like soul keeper, to keep the beast from like tearing into this realm. And she fails her test and now is placed in jail, and a pirate helps her escape, and together they are on the quest to rid the beast so that she doesn't have to be an animancer and she can still like be the heir to the throne or that sort of thing. I really enjoyed the first book. The second book for me was a bit sluggish, but the end redeemed it. However, I do think that there are better like sea pirate mermaid books out there, so it was fun, but it's not my favorite. Speaking of better sea pirate books out there, Namesake by Adrienne Young. I picked this up. It is the sequel to Fable. In this, we are following more of the side of Fable's family and those aspects. We get to meet her grandmother. We learn more about the father and mother. We learn more just about Fable in general, which is really fun. And we also see her reunite with a certain character from the first book, which was a really nice little Easter egg. And I'm excited to, I don't know why I'm saying I'm excited to read it. I've already read it. It was really good. Next, I picked up the duology of Crier's War and Ironheart. This is a sapphic sci-fi in which we are following Crier, who is a cyborg, and cyborgs and humans are kind of against each other, but our main character cyborg and our main character human, of course, fall in love. It's adorable. I loved it. Ironheart had a bit of that like sluggish second start again, but it was still a fantastic second novel, and I'm very happy I read this series. Sweet and Bitter Magic by Adrienne Tully was my next read. I picked this up. It follows Ren, who is a source or someone who can provide magic to witches as like a beacon or like a source, and also Tamsin, who is a witch who siphons emotions from others in order to feel things because she can't feel love on her own or that sort of thing. So in order to feel, she must take it from others. And together they go on a quest and fall in love. And it was fun, but it wasn't my favorite. I do feel like the relationships were a little bit shallow, and I didn't truly believe the love or even the hatred between Tamsin and her sister. I feel like the relationships left a lot to be sought after, so I'm probably going to be unhauling this one, to be honest. I'm probably going to be unhauling a few of these, but yes. Next, I picked up American Royals and Majesty, another duology in which we are following a world in which instead of George Washington becoming president, he became monarch, and we are now following the descendants of George Washington in current day. We are following Beatrice, who is the princess, the crown princess, who will be the very first crowned queen instead of queen by marriage, so queen by blood, which is really cool. We're also following her little sister, who is the spare and is dealing with being the spare, as well as two commoners. So there's a lot of political drama and romance drama. Majesty was just a whole shuffle game. I'm not even gonna get into it. I still adored both. It's like the selection for me. This was purely for entertainment, not for any sort of like knowledge garnered from it or anything of that nature, but it was 5 stars purely for the entertainment. Next, I picked up The Bride Test by Helen Hoang. This is the second book of the, I'm not sure what the trilogy is called, but it's the second book after The Kiss Quotient, and then The Heart Principle just came out, so I do want to pick up that one as well. This one was better than The Kiss Quotient, but it still left me like feeling cringy at times. However, it was a lot more entertaining than The Kiss Quotient. I'm personally not on the Kiss Quotient fan bus, but I know a lot of people did really like it. In this, we are following Esme, who is a foreign female. She's feeling very left out in her home city because she is mixed race, and so they look down upon her for that. And so she travels to America for a better life, where she has been kind of almost bribe mail ordered for a man named Kai, who is on the spectrum and has like anxiety in social situations, but his mom set him up with Esme, and Esme is just there to try to better her life, and it's just a whole ordeal, but it ended up being pretty cute. There were some cringy parts though, I'm not gonna lie. Next, I picked up The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This was the most unrealistic, unbelievable book ever, but I ate it up like candy. It was so freaking good, you guys. In this, we were following Olive and Ethan, who are rivals, unhappy acquaintances, I guess you could say. Olive is the bride's sister, and Ethan is the groom's brother, and together they are like the best man and maid of honor of the wedding. However, at the wedding, the food went bad, and everyone got food poisoning except Olive and Ethan, of course, because they did not eat the buffet and are forced to go on the honeymoon in place of the actual couple, and it was adorable. I freaking loved it. Next, I read Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. I adored this way more than I thought I would. We are following Eliza, who is the illustrator of a popular comic. Online, she is pretty popular as well. She's very good socially. However, in person, like, she does not do that well socially. She has some like social anxieties and just doesn't really talk to people. Really doesn't connect with people in general, even online. And one day, a new boy named Wallace ends up coming to her school, and then she finds out that he's actually a fan of her webcomic, and so she like sneakily tries to get to know him, and he gets to know her, and she learns about like the importance of connecting with people and that sort of thing. It was adorable. It was exactly what I thought Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell was gonna be like, but it exceeded expectations, and I'm very happy I read it. Next, I read Ace of Spades, and I'm not even gonna try it. It's like Farida Abika Amide, something like that. In this, we are following 2 black students at a prep school. They happen to be the only black students at this school. It is senior year, and our main character, Chimaka, has just been named the, like, I forget what the official title is, but like the class president or I think it's like the main prefect, head prefect, that's what it is. And our other character, Devon, is just kind of on the outside, not really trying to get noticed, hasn't really been noticed at all until he is also named a prefect. And after the first day, some of their very personal secrets start getting exposed, and this isn't like, oh, I have a crush on Billy, or I cheated on a math test in 3rd grade, or that kind of thing. No, this is like sex tapes and murder accusations and that sort of thing. So it is intense, you guys, and I did not see who Aces was until it was revealed. I did not expect it at all, and it was so fantastic. If you like Gossip Girl at all, I highly recommend. Next, I read 2 Trisha Levenseller books. We have Warrior of the Wild and The Shadows Between Us. I swear everything Trisha Levenseller writes turns to gold. I adored both of these books. They're definitely like top 10 of the year for me. Maybe new favorites of all time. Warrior of the Wild tells the story of the clan's heir, I guess you could say. Every year the village has trials that are like coming of age trials, and in order to like remain in the clan and become a adult, you have to go through this trial or else you are banished. And our main character, Rasmira's trial was sabotaged by someone she trusted, so therefore she was banished into the wild, where she met 2 other banished people, and together they go through and like save themselves. It was amazing. It was incredible. It was everything I wanted. And then The Shadows Between Us was also just absolutely stunning. I mean, listen to this first sentence, you guys. I don't know if I've ever heard a better first sentence. They've never found the body of the first and only boy who broke my heart, and they never will. So in this, we are following Alessandra, who is the younger child of I think he's an earl, and the older sister has always been fawned over, always been the favorite, and Alessandra's always kind of gotten the scraps from that situation, and she's tired of being second best and like second place. So she's going for the gold. She's going to woo the king and marry him. However, she's not gonna stop there. She's gonna kill him, and she's gonna be queen all herself. So of course she woos the king, and then it goes into a whole situation, of course, and it's just, I loved it. Also, the Shadow King gave Darkling vibes if the Darkling wasn't an absolute piece of garbage. So yeah, I really liked him and Alessandra, and one of my new favorite couples. And finally, of course, my favorite book of the month was Wings of Shadow by Nikki Palpretto. I ended up reading most of this in July, but finished it on August 1st. Look at these tabs, you guys. I adored this. It was the final book of the Crown of Feathers trilogy, which you guys know is my all-time favorite series, and it was everything I wanted. I don't want to go into it to avoid any type of spoiler I might give, but it was just so good. And then last but not least, I did not finish this one, but I have been reading Lake's Edge by Lyndall Clipstone. This was a NetGalley arc I received. I'm about, I want to say 53 or 63% of the way through. So I'm hoping to finish it in well, I will be finishing it in September, but so far it feels like a dark Beauty and the Beast retelling, in which our main character, instead of like saving her dad, is saving her brother from being taken alone into a like monstrous castle, and it's just so good. I love it so much so far, and I can't wait to finish it. So those are all the books that I read in August. Again, such a fantastic reading month. Let me know what your favorite book from August was, or what books, if any of these, that you've read as well, and I'll check you guys in my next video. Bye everyone!